on, back
What
track.
up, though?
Y'all got some wine?
Man,
Oh, heck no.
You like smoking weed?
And I do mean that.
You cute.
Y'all got life
Make it
insurance?
make sense.
You want
Don't
life
rush
insurance?
for the days. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Somebody's Auntie. We are not your mama's sister, but your auntie with the T. I'm your girl, A-list Natalie Knox.
What's up? It's your girl, Keysha E. And our lovely co-host, Chevy, is out of town right now. Chevy the Sheekin, so she's here with us in spirit.
But we also have somebody really special here with us today. Very, very special. Donald George, comedian, writer, a close friend of ours, Cincinnati native. Welcome to the show, Donald. I'm so excited. Like, I can't stop smiling. Welcome to the show.
When she said lovely co-host, I'm like, is Keysha calling me lovely? What the fuck? I'm like, niggas don't lovely.
You know, we don't talk like that. I'd be like, my nigga,
Exactly.
my dog.
What's up, Donald? Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for we respect you and love you so much. We have to have Donald on.
Y'all family. It's automatic. It's
yeah.
automatic. Of course, absolutely.
So what's going on with you? What's new? Talk to us.
Shit, nothing. Trying to plan my escape from my job.
Okay. Oh, like all of us, right? It's like
No, I really been thinking like I've been looking at the value of my condo. Like a part of me is probably this entire year.
Quick flex, light flex, condo in LA. Go ahead.
All of this year and probably some of last year, I've been thinking like, because I started traveling in 2020, right? Mm-hmm. As much as I can, and now I'm like, if I sell my condo and just travel the world for a year or two, like all the places where I got like real friends, like I still got to go visit my friends in Paris, back to Sweden, you know, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sydney, Vancouver, Toronto, all these places, and of course, like everywhere in the States, like that's really what's been on my mind. And I've been taking these little train rides and writing and stuff like that. And it's like,
do it.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Would you ever do? You know how everybody's like doing the living out of their RV situation now because they primarily travel.
You know what? At first, I wouldn't. Y'all know my boy Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. I heard about, yeah.
Vaughn took a delivery truck, and but he's actually real skilled in that. His shit is so fly. Can we get on our phones on this?
Of course. You can do what you want to do. Yeah, of course. But that's super dope. When you said that, it made me think, what's that movie, Poetic Justice, when they traveled across country in the back of the post office, of the post office truck.
Didn't they just go to Oakland?
Yeah, but I think
I was like, wait a minute.
But no, Donna, I think that's dope, especially if you're not married, no kids. You have the time, you have the money, you have the time to do that.
He has his page is Tiny Home Truck. And
I've heard of that.
That's my boy. He took it and he's got Wi-Fi. He's got a bathroom. He's got a shower. He's got a computer desk. He
just travels. He just goes around.
He does it for everybody now. What I'm just saying is like, where people are trying to be smart with their money and save their money, especially like in the valley, you'll be surprised at how many people are living out of vans. Their conversion vans is what they're calling them.
Wow.
So many people are doing that because in LA.
What is the what am I trying to say? How do you use the bathroom on those things?
He has a bathroom and a shower in there. He built that.
But where does it go to?
That I don't know.
Ooh, is Vaughn single? Vaughn is looking real nice. There you go.
She's trying to move in.
Yeah,
She's trying to move in the truck.
No, it's funny. It's funny you say that. I just did some volunteer work this past week, and a few people came with motorhomes, but it's a LA funded place where people can come and actually take showers. So it's mainly meant for the homeless. But I saw a few motorhomes come, and they would come and shower, and then they would get on the motorhome and be on their way. So there's a place for that if it was a need.
What's the name of the people that provided the showers?
Say that again. The name of the company
that provided.
It's called
because I did volunteer work.
Valley Community something.
Oh no,
it's in North Hollywood. Forget the name of it.
Hollywood.
It's super
dope. I
dope.
did it downtown all over, but the last one I did for was in Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super dope service. Well, that's cool. I hope you get to do that.
I really think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I always ask my friends like, you got a couch for me especially right now. Like I said, I want to travel the world once by myself and then travel with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Mainly because it's easier for me to go places where I know where shit is. It's just cheaper that way too. Tourists always spend more money just trying to figure out where the fun is, where everything is. If I know where shit is, then I just save a lot of money a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
Do it.
I say do it.
If I sell this script, especially if I sell the script.
If you're doing it. You're one of the most people I know that's like, step out on faith and just wing it and figure it out. A lot of times we just go back and forth like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know. Next thing you know, 10 years passed and you didn't do what you said you wanted to do.
If I think about something long enough, if it stays on my mind, because I'll think about it, even like when I'm writing my jokes, I'll just walk away from it. And if it keeps coming back to me, it's like, all right, there's something there. Like, this ain't just my heart talking, it's my heart.
Yeah.
And that means I got to open this up and explore it. And there's something, and I got to go figure this shit out.
I love
And
that.
so it's like, all right, now I got to do it.
That's a good mindset. You hungry, Keysha?
I'm
Because you over there
starving,
crunching. Keysha like,
I was hoping y'all could hear me. I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast this morning. I'm sorry. I was,
How would you not think we're going to hear some crunching ass chips?
Well, I was like, let me lean
And
back
she
from the
doing
mic.
it slow.
Right.
That's
Lean back.
trying to make it seem
I'm
like we
sorry,
can't. We can hear you.
I'm starving.
Because I'm over
I
here
had
like, you know what I'm saying? When my mind and my heart is in sync and she...
I had a morning. Listen, yeah.
Keysha had a morning,
I had a
y'all.
morning.
We gonna talk about this.
Sorry. I was a little late getting some dick, but here I am, and here we are. So,
What did you just whisper? Did you hear what she just whispered?
She ain't whispered.
All
That's
right,
why
y'all.
that shit was in her face the way it was.
More.
it can't go anymore.
All right, we good.
Y'all
Donald,
hilarious.
we like to play a quick little game called This or That. Really quick, the first thing that comes to your mind. We just want to ask you a few questions. And
Can
then...
I say no?
Nope.
No,
'Cause
it's
I-
not
let
a
me tell y'all
rule.
something.
Or
Let me
is
tell y'all
that?
something.
Ain't no in it.
I've known them, just the backstory. I think I've known you longer.
Mhm.
I've known Keysha.
I was his friend.
He always would say me, and then you called him out one day. He was like, no, actually, you've been knowing me longer.
She used to live somewhere in Sherman Oaks, some apartment. We used her
Mhm.
apartment to film with Gino and them a long time ago. And then Natalie came to my first ever comedy show at Flappers,
Mhm.
November 14th. That's how I remember, because November 16th is when I got hired at the Roosevelt.
Mhm.
She was at my first show, and I met her actually prior to that at the
At the
Monologue
Mixer, right?
At
Yeah,
the Monologue
yep.
Mixer. So I've known both y'all at least a decade.
Shout out to Tammy Mack, who used to put
love
those
you.
mixers on. Those mixers was
To this
everything.
day-
Life changing.
To this day, outside of the major, like this, award weekend, stuff like that, that was the most important
Yeah.
networking
Yeah.
event for Black
For the culture.
Hollywood.
Yep.
And we blew it.
Yep.
We blew it because we got mad because we didn't get to do our minute monologue. But it's like, even if you didn't do a monologue, the panel was always an agent, a playwright, a casting director.
Yep.
So even if you didn't do nothing, you
You
still
just in
got,
the room.
you still got to
Yeah.
talk to them. Most of the projects I did, it's just people I met in the room, and then we go do a play or go do a show. Literally, that's how I met the foundation of my friends out here.
Same. Wow.
It started there. True story.
Did you ever get a chance to go? Same here. I met a lot of the
Mhm.
first friends I had. I was like, oh, I met at the Mixer.
Yeah.
So shout out
And
to
I
Tammy
know
Mack. That's
Artistic
dope.
Standard was trying to bring it back, before the world shut down. Gino
I remember that,
trying to
yeah.
bring it back. So I hope they do. I really, truly hope they do.
That was a great platform for us for sure.
Mhm.
So yeah, you cannot say no. All right, let's just get right into it.
No means no.
Beach or desert?
Beach.
Height? No, not that one. R&B or rap? Oh, can you imagine? R&B or rap?
At this point in my life, R&B.
Okay. Cake or ice cream?
Cake.
Has a car or has a job?
A job. I can come and get you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can
Gas
Uber
is
you.
high, my nigga. What if she lived?
Right. And Palmdale.
She worth it. But then,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Donald got a condo and gas money,
Right.
ladies. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Vacation or staycation?
Ooh.
I know.
I meditate a lot, so like the idea of staycation is still pretty cool. But I just said how I may
Yeah, I
sell my
know.
house to
Yeah.
travel the world, so vacation.
Vacation. Okay. Okay. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Sex or head? Stumped him. He's like,
What was that noise,
no.
though?
I mean, head is safer sex though. You know what I'm saying? We
Okay.
can't afford kids, but sex. That's
Okay.
tough, man. Damn,
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Look, I just posted last night.
I saw that.
I literally
saw
just
that.
posted like we need to get these women more ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just said that. But
But last
yeah.
one. Passion or stability?
passion.
No, you answer too easy. I got one more then.
Passion. We're artists.
Yeah.
There's no stability in what we do. But the passion.
Facts.
The passion is the stability.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
yeah,
it.
is.
Yep.
I think that's a good note to end on. What are we talking about today? I think we know exactly.
So normally what we do is we pull from this wine glass a topic. So we don't know what we're talking about
Okay.
until the audience finds out what we're talking about. But today, we decided we're going to talk about some shit.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about...
The hot topic of the week. What's everybody talking about?
What is everybody talking about? All on my
Marion and Mario?
Oh man, that's a
That-
whole nother episode.
that's-
That's a whole nother episode.
That's something different. I didn't watch that. I was like, I got to see that because...
You still didn't see it?
No.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Oh man, it was more of a comedy show than anything.
That's what I heard.
It was like
it was
I
very
heard-
entertaining.
I heard about
It was
I
hilarious.
didn't get to see it either, though, actually.
But no, we're going to talk about Roe v. Wade. We're going to talk about the recent, was it yesterday, 2 days ago?
2 days. I want to say the
Friday.
24th.
It's
Yep.
usually on a weekday.
24.
Yeah. So we want to talk about this the Supreme Court ruling.
So first off, what is Roe v. Wade?
Yeah, let's talk about that. It's such a passionate topic, by the way. It's been all over the news. It's something we felt like we needed to talk about as pop culture and just something that's current events. But let's talk about it because a lot of people don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
What's your definition of Roe versus Wade?
Well, I thought Roe v. Wade, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the 50s, maybe 57. I don't know. We probably looked this up.
Year.
It was in the 50s
Yeah.
where basically women got more access and more freedoms to do whatever they wanted with their bodies after a court ruling, a federal court ruling.
Allowed you to get abortions.
Even though abortions were out well before that, certain states, that's the thing about here in America. Like, we have a federal government that issues laws, but then they tell the state, pretty much do what's best for you. And that's why there's always people rather live here than there, here, their tax reasons and all that good stuff. And so other states were able to use their own interpretation of that. And so even to this day, certain states are like, 6 weeks, you can't do it past 6 weeks. Some states you can't do it past 20 weeks, things like that. Yeah.
Oh, 1973 was the year.
What the fuck did I get 50?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of something else.
I was like, I don't know the year.
I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of something else.
You're thinking about
1973. We was 20 years off there, but we
about, wait, is it Brown versus
Brown versus the Board of Education? No,
One
that
of them
was
niggas.
I think like
it was
before
something
that
from
too.
back then.
Keysha,
73.
just finish the damn chips. Keysha, just finish them.
Oh, is this allowed?
It's a little crunchy. It's a little.
All right, I'm
Dip them
done.
in water or something.
Right?
Dip
She
'em
like,
in.
Gosh, I'm done.
1973. And also, I wanted to point out too, we wanted to have you on too, Donald, because this doesn't just affect women. A lot of people think that this is all about women, and but it's important too to get the male perspective, right? Because I know we were talking yesterday; it affects men as well. So we want to have you come on as a voice for men in a sense, because you're very intellectual and I feel like you have a great viewpoint on this matter. So we kind of just want you to come on as a black man too, to kind of talk about what you thought about it. We'll share a little bit about what we think about it.
As a black man, like I can come on as something else.
Today we need you to be black.
Right, just today though. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on it? How did you feel when it came out? I know you very you're would you consider yourself political, like a political type of guy? Because I feel like you do. No.
You know what? I don't think I'm political. It's just like, listen, I'm black in America. Like, I've seen things, we've been through things. You learn and then you understand. Like, anytime I'm watching the news or watching a law be passed or a ruling or something, I always look at myself like, what is the financial implications of this? What's the reason behind this? Like, you know what I mean? Roe v. Wade is a little bit different because I've been saying for a while, even in one of my sets, is like, I always check in with white people, like, how y'all doing? Because it's like white people are running out of white people. You know what I mean? And so I think that's...
I'm sorry, this nigga be like...
with the hand and everything, with the hand.
That's good. She be Willow Red Table.
I know it's funny
I
because
hold it in.
my sister called that out too. When somebody makes a good point, I want to dive in so bad and just like, but my best.
You could be like this, in California we have palm trees, and she be like,
So about the palm.
No, that's me being polite and waiting for my turn to speak because it's so deep. You're right.
That's where it starts.
I couldn't get that out.
And then because there's so many layers to this. Then you go back to was it Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, and because then one of my other initial thoughts was, and it may sound insensitive, but it's like, Roe v. Wade wasn't overturned for black women. They're not going to stop you from killing your babies.
Right.
They've been trying to stop you from killing your baby. They've been trying to get you to kill your babies all these years. They're not going to stop now. So it does affect you when it comes to healthcare and, things like that. Like, because some people women put themselves in danger trying to have a baby. You know what I mean? May not be ready to have a baby. So, because you have those women die. A lot of women die giving birth
during childbirth. Yeah.
And so
statistically, more black women, actually, too.
Right. So ain't nobody been trying to protect you all this time. You think they're trying to protect you now? So the ruling, just like, listen, We came into this motherfucker 3/5. We came into this motherfucker slaves, and then we became 3/5. So it's like, you know, you gotta understand that part of it too. So when you look at these things, it's like, but like, if you look at the past like 5-10 years of everything going on, white people really need to have a conversation with themselves. There's a war going on in the white community within themselves. It's happening, and whatever side feels they're losing tends to draw other people in, you know what I mean, to get the numbers and get the support, and then the war continues. And it's like, we feel we're in this country, and we should feel like that because we're humans. Yeah. But and we can't stay silent. We got to get involved, like, you know what I'm saying, because whatever affects them is going to ultimately affect all of us. But there's a war going on within the white community.
So you more so think that the overturning of it is more race thing? You think it's more to the benefit of
they're just trying to listen. I just think they're white women and white men are probably in the past like 15, 20 years are thinking less and less about family and more about just trying to survive for themselves. It is hard to live out here. Like it is not livable right now. Nobody can afford anything.
Yeah, everything's crazy. Yeah.
Gas, when gas goes up, food goes up, groceries goes up, everything goes up, travel. Like, so, you know, all people can do, like, people make enough money from their job just to go back to work. So it's like, it's hard to live. So if it's hard for me to survive, like, it's going to be, you know, 2x, 3x, 4x as hard for me to bring a baby into this world. You know what I'm saying? So people are really considering that. All this will go away if you just made this shit more livable. Yeah. All this will go away if it was easy. Look at us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're Midwesterners. Like, where we from? You meet somebody, y'all go together, y'all have a baby, and y'all start a family. But it's really expensive. It's hard out here. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, they're changing everything but the actual problem. Yeah. So, yeah.
Would you say that, would you label yourself either pro-life, pro-choice? Or would you identify as one of those, like, that you support more, or are you more, you don't have a side?
I'm pro-choice in just about everything. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I always want people to have the freedom to be their best selves, their first selves. So when I meet them, I know I'm meeting the best version of them, or the realest version of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to meet you and then, you know, a year or two from now, you're a completely different person when, because of society, you had to put on a mask and be something else. So, like, I know I'm going into some other stuff, but the point is I'm pro-choice in everything. Like, you know, I won't get into the specifics, but I mean.
Well, when it comes to this, you're more so saying, okay, you want the woman to be able to make the choice of her own, of what she wants to do and how she wants to go about this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a situation, like, where it's like, you know, messing around with somebody, and it was literally whatever you want to do. I know I'm saying a lot right now, like, you know what I'm saying? My close friends know, but it's like, I had her back. You know, whatever she wanted to do, I have no say so in that. You know what I'm saying? She can ask me questions and I can give answers, but it's like, this is 1,000% up to you, and it's whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
I think that's a bit crazy.
What?
Like, so my take, and I'm very unpopular opinion, I don't believe in abortions, right? So
you say you would say you're pro-life?
I don't really feel like I'm either one, because I feel like, I mean, you can say I'm pro-life in a sense, but I'm not standing outside of an abortion clinic protesting like, you shouldn't get an abortion. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to ban you. I'm not going to, that's your vagina, that's your baby. Right. I personally don't believe in it, and I don't think it should have ever been a right to be like, I can kill my kid. You know what I mean? That's just me. And I think one of the things when I get into, like, abortions, what you just said to me is wild, because even though I'm a woman, the fact that it's like, my body, my choice, right? I have to say so in what happens with this life. But it's not just my baby. So yeah, I'm the vessel that is blessed enough to be able to carry this baby. But it's also just as much your baby as it is mine. It's not more the mom's baby just because the mother carries it, right? So I get to go and say, I am having an abortion. Right. And what if he doesn't want to kill this kid? He has no say because it's my body. And I think that's wild. I think that, and that's where I think it gets to be kind of like a lot happening to
and I think it's because there's again, there's multiple reasons other than the lesser and obvious, oh, I'm cheating with this person, sleeping around, so we shouldn't have a baby anyway. But again, it's health reasons. You know what I'm saying? There's health reasons why a lot of women, a lot of women can't have kids. It'll kill them, or it'll do something to them, or there's a couple other reasons. So when you have all those factors factoring in, it's like, if she wanted to, then I would be a father of a, I don't want to say the year, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
what if you didn't? What if in your situation, she was like, nope, I ain't having this baby. And what if you like, this is my baby. I want to have this baby. That's kind of fucked up that she could just be like, nope, going to kill it.
That's true. But then it's like, listen, I still got to support her no matter what. But then going forward, it's like, well, I know this particular woman don't want to have kids with me, and I do. So it's like, all right, got to move on. That's that on that.
I mean, yeah, in life, that's all you can do, move on. But I think that aspect is kind of unfair, and I think I don't know, I think that...
There's a lot of things that men do to women that ain't fair.
Yeah.
Not just this in particular, but it's just
like... No. I mean, of course, there's a lot of things just in life that ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? But when I think of... I guess because I'm just not for abortions at all, it's like when I think of that aspect of it, of like... I don't know, just having the ability to be like, I'm going to kill this life.
There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with being pro-life and pro-choice. The problem is, in America, really in the world, people cannot disagree without, because we disagree.
Yeah.
I hate you. You're a terrible person.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
and that's why I say I'm not if you choose to have an abortion, like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. I'm like, that's
you're
your
not
vagina,
doing
that's
that.
your baby. I don't believe in it, but do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not judging or banning or putting down or whatever. But I think that I just don't think it should have ever been a thing.
You don't think it should have been?
I don't think it should have been like.
Well, think about back.
You can decide you want to kill your kid.
Well, think about how long. I mean, let's see. Black people just got civil rights in the 50s, and how many years before that in slavery? How many women raped? Probably goes back further than that, but just like by white men, and the idea of these mixed babies, probably was disturbing. And this is all guessing. I'm not, I don't want nobody coming for me, but that's probably where this initially started. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a baby with this person, that person. I mean, shit, interracial marriages became a thing.
It goes
I was
back.
looking.
Like,
it definitely goes further back. Yeah,
how they do abortions now to like people making potions back in like I'm talking like 16th century, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm not. It didn't just start, but I do think the idea of being like. But that's again, if I'm pregnant and I decide I'm gonna try and fall down these stairs, right? Yeah, people gonna do that, whatever. But for it to be an actual option for me to be like, I can go into this hospital and have a procedure and get rid of this baby. I think that's where I'm like, I don't think it should have ever been.
Are you saying more in a sense of women having abortions as birth control?
I mean, just in general. So here's the thing. That too. I do think, and again, this is where I don't judge and I don't care. That's your vagina. I do think. I think I read over like 52 million abortions happen a year.
52 million.
That's
look that number up. That's a lot of.
That's a lot of abortions.
Think about it. There's 7 billion people in this world. Niggas is fucking and killing babies every day. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know chicks that didn't have like 10 abortions. They to the point where they gotta use somebody else's ID. Again, I ain't judging, but I'm just saying like abortions is going down, right?
Yeah.
So.
That's the part that bothers me.
I'm not judging. If you want to recklessly fuck, and that's where I think a big part of it comes from is like accountability. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day and they kept making it seem like this thing was happening to them. And I'm like, you decided to have consensual, unprotected sex. You decided, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that, again, because I don't care that much to be like, you shouldn't be able to just say, oh, because I'm reckless, I want to go kill this kid. I just think across the board, it's like, yeah, it shouldn't be a thing. It does take away some of, I think, people's accountability in a sense, which, again, I'm on the fence because I don't care that much. I hate to say I don't care because you got to care about society.
You sound like somebody who cares.
But it's like
because you're giving out good stuff right now,
yeah,
so you care.
I mean, so it is a lot of just like for the sake of doing it because I can do it.
Right.
I can have sex, I can get pregnant, and I can go
and I don't have to deal with the consequences.
Whatever.
Right.
And then you have the issue. You have rape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna hold you. I'm on the fence with that because that wasn't consensual. You didn't decide to do this thing, and then I don't want to take responsibility and accountability for it. And at the same time, that's still a life.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are people that are products of rape. Did they not deserve to live? Does their life still not serve a purpose? And then and I'm very much with that. Like everybody has a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So all of those babies that's been aborted, like what was their purpose? Like what were they supposed to grow up and do? What were they? You know what I mean? And so for me personally, again, I just don't believe in abortion. I am on the fence again, and that's just being transparent because I know people in the comments gonna be like, you either is or
so
you're not.
So you more on the
no,
fence?
you can be on the fence. You can.
I'm on the fence when it comes, to rape, and so I don't know if there's a way of regulating of like if it's an instance of rape and you have a police report or a rape kit or whatever, that's the thing. It's like once you start doing stuff, you can't. So then even the thing with like, we're like, maybe it should be where the father has to consent as well. Because how do you get to just make that true? You know what I'm saying? So I think once you open the doors of that, then there is no, it's like whatever. You know what I mean? The abortion is available. So
I think it's hard. I think it'll be hard to make the father consent because it's like, well, how do I know it's my baby? You know what I'm saying? She know it's her baby because she's carrying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well,
for you to just say you can have it, if it ain't your kid, why would you? Either way,
I thought it was his. You know, people,
But I'm saying if you don't want the kid, you like, I don't know if it's mine or not. You know, you don't want it. You don't want to chance her if he's on board with it. Is what I'm saying. Because if he's not, then that's where I think you shouldn't just be able to be like, I'm gonna
do what I want to do because I think what you're trying to say too also is you lay down knowing the risk of possibly having a baby. Yeah. And the exceptions we were talking about earlier was rape, medically necessary, where sometimes the baby grows outside of the uterus, things like that, where it's like allowed. But I actually, or like you said,
because those babies are, I think there's only like 3 or 4 cases where a baby actually lived. Those babies are not going to live. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't grow.
Or women who may
like ectopic pregnancies.
Experience, or maybe women who experience, the fetus dying, so they're now saying, okay, well, you got to carry it the full term, like stuff like that, or women who have been raped.
For me, in my mind, it's like that's not a living being.
Okay, what about women? What about incest? Because that happens too. Where you're raped and then there's incest in these families as well.
If it's rape, then now if you fucking your brother and you consensually fucking your brother, then you got to deal with what you get. Then, you know what I mean?
But I'm just saying there are a lot of reasons why. Because I feel like you talked a little bit about being on the fence earlier, and I'm like, I'm kind of on the fence too. I don't think that we should, because like you said, I know a few people who have had abortions knowing I can just go get this abortion if I get pregnant by this person and use it as a form of birth control. I literally physically know a few women who do that to this day. We've had a bunch.
A few, right?
Yeah, and it's sad. So for those situations, I'm just like, I'm on the fence too.
There's a good and bad in everything, but then I would probably then suggest look up the data because I actually don't know these answers. What is the data of women who do it to avoid accountability versus the amount of women who do it for health reasons, and the amount of women who do it for like the third reason, which is sexual assault and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the accountability, like, I'm just going raw dog and then just I don't think it's that many. It's a lot.
I think for health reasons, you don't go to an abortion clinic, right? Like your GYN, your doctor, or your OBGYN is like, if it's like an ectopic pregnancy, because again, and I don't know, because I'm thankfully never had it, but I don't know that it's the exact same type of procedure or not. Because I had a friend who child was not, she couldn't go to term with it, and she had to go into the hospital, and the doctor, did a procedure or whatever. It wasn't the same as an abortion whatsoever, because the baby actually came out, the whole 9. But that wasn't termed an abortion, even though the baby, but again, it was the baby. It wasn't like, hey, I want to have this kid. It was like the baby cannot survive. The baby isn't gonna, make it. So I don't know that those are considered the same. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't look at that in the same way. Again, for me, and my belief is like, if this is a living being, I don't care from day one. I know there's the argument of like, oh, until there's at this point number of weeks,
the
it's
heartbeat
like,
and stuff like that.
You don't have to kill it if it's not living. It's still a living thing. It's still, So for me, again, that's just my personal thing. Is like, I just don't believe in abortions.
I saw
on the fence when it comes to rape, because it's like, that's still a life.
I saw this post yesterday By the way, Donald, fetal heartbeat may be first detected by vaginal ultrasound as early as 5.5 to 6 weeks, so about a month and a half after conception. But I saw this post yesterday. I want to know your both of your opinion on this. It said, "Sorry, ladies, you now have to actually know the guy you let bust a nut in you now."
That should have been like that, but yeah.
And everybody's just chiming in, and some people, of course, are laughing, and a lot of people are saying, well, they should have been doing that anyway. That should have been the standard anyway. But I think it goes back to what you were saying about accountability. Like, of course, there's a bunch of reasons why abortions happen that aren't, that medical reasons, right? What you said, ectopic pregnancy, things like that, rape, incest, things like that. But you're right, we should have been taking accountability. I think we were talking too, knowing the risk before you lay down with somebody, and not just saying, okay, well, if I get pregnant, I'm just gonna go, take a plan B or whatever the course may be. But it's a huge part of it is, and it's super rigid, but taking accountability. Right? And just knowing, I don't know what y'all think about that meme.
Do people care to get to know people nowadays, though?
Right. You should.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
just
if you don't.
in anything, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do people really care to get to know somebody?
I do.
Of course. You would think so, but I think that's the problem. People don't. It's just like, oh, I like you. Let's lay down, and then let's just see what happens. And that's the next thing you know, you're pregnant, and
listen, the sex is definitely important to get to know somebody, because if that's bad, then I don't, really care to get to know you. But
get to know somebody in a more, I'm different because y'all already know I'm on my celibacy journey, but I feel like get to know somebody in a more intimate level before you just go ahead and raw dog and just let's see what happens. Absolutely. Now you have this innocent child, maybe. Now we coming into like the issues. And
that's what somebody posed a question to me and was like, oh, so every dude you ever had sex with, would you have been okay with having a kid, or however they posed the question? And I was like, absolutely. It wasn't the plan. It wasn't like, hey, we're gonna have sex and I'm gonna have a baby. But every dude I've ever had sex with, I would have been a-okay if I had a baby by that person, even if we didn't work out and we weren't together. It's never. I ain't fucking with no bum ass niggas. I'm not fucking with no dudes that's not. And again, I understand a lot of women are like, well, you don't know until you had a baby to do. But from what I can see at this point, you know what I'm saying? I would have been a-okay.
But if not, I'm sure you would have used protection. You would have protected yourself.
I would have been fucking you. If I feel like
that part.
Again, we may not work and we may not last, but if I feel like you can't be a good father, if I feel like you're not somebody that I can have a kid with, I'm not gonna have sex with you knowing that I can have a kid.
Possibly.
And I've only started thinking like that recently. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I turned 18, I went to the Army. I'm gonna keep it real.
You was fucking.
I traveled. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I traveled the world with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
not judging, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
And so, as you get older, you start to realize, the important things and what's important. And then it's like, but it's like, I see some of my friends, homeboys and homegirls, and the kid isn't the problem. It's the person they had the kid with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that really, so to go back, the girl, you know what I'm saying? Although at that point I couldn't, I think we both knew, like, we're not going to be together. This is fun. We could have been, but then when that happened, it was just like, maybe, it did. I prayed up on it, everything happened for a reason. And then we didn't really kick it that much after that. That made me think twice about, like, who I want to get in bed with. And then that's when shit really gets stressful in LA and sad, because it's like, there's a lot of women out here. LA has more women than...
You could have knocked down corduroy at the club that day.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is your problem?
See, look.
What the fuck is your problem?
See, she the one you got to look out for.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Donald had...
This is what you got to look out
my
for.
God.
Yeah, I'm never going to let that go.
They bring that shit up every year on my birthday.
That's
you or
hilarious.
Ashley bum-ass. Before they started airing my shit out about being at the club, I just want to point out...
had the picture. Go ahead.
Shut the fuck up. That is what Keysha's point. Her stance on this is incredibly important, and because I think she doesn't want to call herself a pro-lifer, but you're a pro-lifer. But the problem is 90% of pro-lifers want to force their opinion, their agenda on other people, and that's where you get the resistance. And it's like,
that's why I feel like I don't call myself a pro-lifer, because I'm like, I have opinions about abortions, and it's not for me, but I'm not trying to force it on
You're not
going to
be the person out there like,
trying to.
And if honestly, this is understanding. This is proper communication.
Yeah, right.
When you listen to respond, you find yourself arguing. When you listen to understand, you have healthy communication and conversation.
Yeah.
And when you want to be right, you know, when you want to be right about everything, this is how we get to where we are now. I mean, them overturning that, there's money in there somewhere. But
and it goes way back. We can go super deep into political and people saying that Obama didn't get a chance to, you know, appoint anybody. Trump was able to put 3 in there, I think. 2 or he was able to put 3 in there.
That's why this midterm election, these are more important than a presidential election. The president, like, those look good, and I know they're the face of the nation to the world. But they still got to answer to the people we're voting for this year.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Most people who get out here and speak on these things, they don't know who they're voting for on the local level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't forget, these people work for us. If you're a taxpaying citizen, they work for you.
Yep.
They are your employees. You know what I'm saying? And every 2 years, you get to evaluate them. How are they doing? Okay, let's go put somebody else in place. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But we don't look at it like that. Like, the politics has really, they flipped the game so hard on us that they got us thinking that we work for them.
Yep.
And they don't, and we don't. They just they led us to believe that. They put in work. Like, they go to like large and long lengths, to ensure that, got us thinking that we work for them, that we need them more than they need us. So
I'm very mindful not to say
I think
like, you gotta say it now.
Right, you know?
I saw you know, everybody on social media and just in conversations, like, up in arms about it, and
you were just like,
I think because I don't believe in abortions, I'm like,
well, let's keep it.
And I think that's a big
you
reason why
with an exception.
I'm on the fence. Again, I haven't fully made my mind up about that. I'm on the fence. I do, in a sense, because in a sense I feel like that wasn't consensual. That wasn't that person's choice by no means. That wasn't the emotional toll that I'm sure it would take on a person, you know what I mean, to have to raise this kid. And at the same time, it's like, and I know somebody who was a product of rape, so at the same time, it's like, that's still a life, and that person deserves to live. They don't feel like, I wish I would have died. I'm sure that they don't want that circumstance or want that whomever
I don't think
to be
it's
their
hardly
dad,
ever, unless, like you said, unless the baby is going to, you know, going to physically harm. It's usually never really about the baby. It's about the person carrying the baby. It's about the parents. It's their choice. You know what I'm saying? It's them the ones. It's like, well, this is my responsibility, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm the one that's like, and there's nothing against the baby, but, you know, I can't afford this baby. Mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. They cannot afford this baby. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean they can't, you know.
But can we not afford it? My grandparents had 13 kids back
Houses
in the
were
day.
$7,000.
That's back in the day. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but my grandma didn't work.
Houses were $7,000.
Money's different now.
How much money was my granddaddy making to support 15 people?
I'm telling you.
Money's different though, Keysha. That was a long time ago.
Milk
that
was
the
50
time.
cents. Gas was 20 cents.
Gas was like,
you know, back then. Listen, before.
Yeah, but they weren't making that much.
But everything didn't cost a living. So you got to go back. Let's
it
say
didn't cost as much to live.
Let's say the 80s, right? The cost of living and a minimum wage, they were always parallel. I want to say it's the 80s. The cost of living and the minimum wage were always very similar. And then corporations got involved with everything, and then cost of living kept going up. The fact that we're in 2022, and in certain places in America, the minimum wage is still $7, where nobody can afford to live off $7. We're here in California, right?
Right.
We are fighting for $15 minimum wage for people. Meanwhile, you need to make $33 an hour just to afford to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that hasn't always been like that. You know what I mean?
I feel like in most places, though, like in the Midwest, I'm not saying by any means have 15 kids these days, but I feel like I hear a lot of people, again, and this is not everybody, but I hear a lot of people like, oh, I can't afford kids. I'm like, nigga, you got on $900 shoes.
That's a cop-out.
Yeah. You're not afford kids.
That's a cop-out. I have heard people say that, though, because it is, you know, like you said, inflation. I don't know. I think oftentimes we got all this money during COVID, and now this is their way of, like you said, everything's higher. Get it back, not just gas. I mean, and
nothing's
this is probably
free.
Just the start. You know, gas is higher, plane tickets, train tickets, everything is just super high.
Anytime gas goes up, when gas goes up a significant amount,
gas is nuts.
I feel my gas ain't up.
I remember gas was 99 cents.
That's how I knew we were going into a recession. I'm telling you, I was like,
it's happening
because it affects everything around it. At your favorite restaurant, the food goes up because it costs more to get it delivered.
Yep.
Everything goes up. You know what I'm saying? And you know, what the fuck was I watching? Oh, the nigga Kevin Samuels. I was watching this interview either on
R.I.P.
T.I.'s podcast or somewhere like that, and he worked in marketing, and how they talked about the marketing firm he worked in. It makes more sense for people to be single than together. You know what I mean? Financially, for the system, it makes more sense for me and you to live in separate households than live in one household and combine our income and actually survive and live.
Right now?
That's it's for people trying to get rich. It doesn't make sense morally. It doesn't make sense on the idea of what the American dream is for people trying to get rich off. Listen, there's money in fear. There's money in struggling. There's money in people.
But why does it make sense for two people to live separately?
For marketing companies trying to get rich off the everyday person. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money in unhappy people. There's a lot of money in sadness. There's a lot of money in fear. That's what I mean by that. So, if you're separate, it's like.
So for marketing, they would gain more, not the actual.
This particular company.
Oh, the company. I thought you meant individuals.
This particular company, and it's like,
You want to use mine?
Happiness is the goal for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Happiness is the goal for everybody. Because the happier you are, right? The more you realize, like, it didn't take much to make me happy. If it don't take much to make you happy, then you need less and less. The system fails. So they're going to do whatever they can to keep you unhappy, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you, you got to look like this person. You got to act like this person. Like, you know what I mean? They sell you on the American dream. The American dream is what? Buy a house, buy a car, go to college, get married, have kids. Mm-hmm. And they want you to do it young while you're still impressionable, your body's still, forming and all that. So by the time you're 25, you're $500,000 in debt.
Yeah. The crazy part is, speaking of cost of living, the cost of living has increased by 254% since the 80s.
I'm telling you.
254%.
Okay, so see how much the minimum wage has increased. How much has the minimum wage increased since the 80s? The 80s is when everything changed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like when it comes to like the system as it is today, like a lot of things that are happening right now, black people were the experiment. And then once we were like, slavery, there were white slaves toward the end, prison, like it's like, no, there's money in this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Project living in the projects, having everybody living close, like so close together. Once we survived it, like people are starting to live in smaller and smaller places now. Like, you know what I mean? People start living closer, so they're getting more money off the same space. We're not. They're charging us more in the same space. It's just like, it's just crazy. We haven't even tapped into, how many school shootings has happened, right? So they want you to keep they're not even protecting the kids that are here. No. You know what I mean?
And that's the crazy part.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
When people talk about that, I don't think that means don't let your kid live, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm saying people are making this decision. Like, if I'm not a woman, but it's like I'm looking at the world today, and it's like, what is there to like? Listen, there's always something to be happy about. There's always something to celebrate. But when it's thrown at you the way it's thrown at you, it's like, man, bring another life right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. And if somebody feels like that, guess what? That's perfectly okay. There may be somebody out there like, you know what? I want to have a baby and this be my best friend and just fuck the world. That's fine too. The problem is when two people have different opinions and one person try to force their opinion on the other person. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then they're throwing the whole world against you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the bigger problem of all of this. You know what I mean?
It's a lot to tap into.
The idea of you've made your decision, but you already know there's a lot of women who want to go the other way, and now they're trying to tell them you can't do that. Right. And if you're talking about a higher power on a spiritual level, then leave that between me and God. You know what I'm saying? You're not God. Not you, but the these supreme, you know what I mean? It's like,
I think,
that's the part. I think that's the part that's getting everybody.
Of like, I can choose to kill this baby. It just don't sit. It just never, for me, it just never sat right with my spirit. Mm-hmm. Abortions, like. And
I think the part that's getting everybody is the fact that it's the Supreme Court that has this. I think that's the whole big thing of this whole thing. How are you able to abortions? Like, I get what you're saying. Okay. The main thing is, how is these 9 people, right? I think it's 9 in the Supreme Court justices, able to make this decision for the entire country in a
Not
sense.
only
Like,
that, not only
I think it
not
should
only
have never been an option.
not only that there are 9 Supreme Court justices, it's like the 6 of the 9 that are up there and their history leading up to that.
yeah.
If these were really truly on the up and up people, then I think more people would still be upset, but not as upset. Like, oh, these people probably really did the research and really, but it's like there's some shady people in the Supreme Court. You're like, and you don't want shady people making decisions for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, it's like the one.
That's why I said it's not the beginning.
This is just the beginning. But then
This isn't even. This is the middle. This ain't the beginning, y'all. This is the middle.
Well, I mean, this is not it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
people
not at
like
all.
I'm not even surprised. Like, honestly, when this happened, I was like, man, my ancestors were slaves. Like, you talked about this earlier. It's like, I know more is coming, and I'm not even surprised that this happened. It's really unfortunate, and I'm like, how are y'all, like, these 9 people? That part just blows my mind. So in that sense, I know you were talking about being on the fence earlier. I'm pro-choice, but I also don't, feel like abortion should be birth control. Because like I said, I have people who actually do it knowing they can just go up and take a,
So you feel like it should only be if it's medically necessary or if it's rape?
Yes. Or incest or something crazy like that. Because I was looking at the statistics.
So you're not really pro-choice? Because if it's medically necessary, that's not even your choice. You got to be done.
If it's medically necessary,
then that's not really your choice.
I'm against what I'm saying is I'm against it if it's casual, non-accountability sex, and I'm just it just happened. That's what I'm
not even against it then.
That's what I'm like. Wait, what? What do you mean? Like you said, the consequences of laying down with somebody when you lay down with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so for you to be like, oh, okay, well, we just gonna do what? That's when it becomes unfair to me to this child. Now, I get what you're saying too. It's about the people that you choose to lay down with, and I've seen enough Maury and Jerry Springer episodes to be like, damn, this is who you chose. And I say we have the choice.
Sometimes it even that.
Women
they
choose.
May even love the person. Like, listen, I love you, and we're gonna be together. We just can't have a baby right now.
Right.
I think because I don't believe in abortions is why I am so conscious of, and one, I'm just not a big fan of like, oh, let me just have random sex. Oh, he's cute. I want to fuck him. That's not my thing anyway. No shade to anybody who it is, but I think that's one reason why I'm.
But
why
I think
I'm so
too,
big on being conscious of who I have sex with is because I don't believe in abortion. So it's like I'm not about to randomly have sex with this random dude who's just a fuck boy. It's cool for the summer, and I might get pregnant and then I gotta have a child with him. Like, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? But this person over here who, okay, we have a relationship. Okay, this person is solid. They've always been there for me. They're a good man. I can see their relationship with their family, their mother, their this, their that. Okay, if it happens, I'm fine with that.
Do you got friends in your circle that you argue with this about? Because if you do, them the ones I want to meet because they trying to have some fun.
We don't really argue. I have friends that have different opinions, but you're so stupid. We don't argue. It just be like,
trying to have fun. So you've been in the house for 2 years.
You're all about married with kids. Most of my friends.
You're all about casual sex and not being safe in the sense of if she pop up pregnant, then okay, let's just see what happens. In the name of having fun.
I don't like sometimes.
Yeah, I'm be honest.
Like
I mean,
no.
You know what? Most niggas, our biggest concern is being set up at a girl house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they ain't thinking about the STD. They ain't thinking about the baby. They ain't thinking about
niggas. Women set niggas up. Women set niggas up in the worst way nowadays. Like, so it's like they don't want to come to your house. It's like, yo, no, I bought this condo for me. You know what I'm saying? But I got a gated community security. Like, nah, I'm good. I know who coming to this motherfucker. Like, no. Niggas is more concerned with. It may be immature and childish, but niggas is more concerned with being set up.
Yeah. It's like I get how everybody's up in arms about the fact that these people get to choose what the option is. And I guess my stance, because I don't believe in abortion, is like, well, I don't think that should be a right anyway. So I'm kind of like, I could argue for the sake of arguing, no, they shouldn't be able to choose. But then the bigger, my bigger stance is like, well, I don't believe in abortions anyway. So then it's kind of
I know California numbers about to go up because California allow it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We better get more women moving
out here. That's what somebody said
here.
that day. I was talking about Texas. And they was like, well, you can't get abortion down there. I said, well, bitch, I'm 40,
Here's the thing.
So if I get pregnant, thank God. Like, how? Gotta be like, you got a lot of nerve. You about to do what?
Here's the thing. People, like you said, people have been getting abortions since before. It's not going to stop. Right, people are still gonna. Before they were drinking a lot or something or a hanger or something. It's been happening from the beginning of time anyway. It's not gonna stop happening. Do we know why now? Why people are
why Roe v. Wade? Like, we all have our theories. Like, I have my theory of just population control and other races, or like white people are projected in our lifetime. They're gonna be the minority in America really soon. Not even in our life, like really soon. You know what I'm saying? And they're, they just won't be the overwhelming majority anymore. You know what I'm saying? They think the power lies in numbers because literally the power does lie in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's power in numbers in everything you do. So that's my thinking of why they want to do this in the first place. I don't think they're doing this to protect the life of your kids and your black women. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Well, I don't think that is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, I'm just about like let these babies live.
Mm-hmm.
White, black, whatever they are, let them live. So the
Tell
reason.
that to Margaret Sanger, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So,
the plan, yeah, they never, you know what I'm saying, like
let them live no matter what. Yeah, it's like
I mean, nothing
if we're going really that,
to
nobody cares
make,
about us.
Yeah, to make it for us
until they need our numbers. You know, we just strengthen our. You know what I'm saying? When they know, you know, the group who's losing whatever battle is going on, that's when they do the protest.
But I never felt like, oh, this is for black women. They're doing this for black women. I never felt like that's why they're doing it. I just feel like, yeah, these babies should live.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and but I just think this whole thing started because of that. You know what I'm saying?
I want to thank you both for because my whole life through college and everything, I was super pro-life. I was like same ideology as you.
Abortions left and right. Like,
no. I was just like, man, why would you? Life is precious. Why would you? Why is that? Why is this even a thing? I literally thought this I was like thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, yo, babies are precious. Like life is precious. Why is it even a law for this in place? Why is it even in place? And then I started researching more what exactly, there's a lady named something Roe versus this district attorney Wade. And that's how this whole thing started back in the 70s. So I used to be, I'm iffy about it, but I'm grateful to you two for having this open conversation. Because you are allowing us the space to have healthy debate. Right. And it's not like, and you taught me a long time ago, this is one thing I've taken from you. You said, I don't argue opinion.
I don't.
And I love that so much because we all have different views.
I only argue misinformation. I don't argue facts, opinions, and feelings.
I love that.
Yeah.
I only argue misinformation. That's it.
Because everybody's entitled.
Everybody's entitled. And so the fact that we have this platform and we can all kind of just share our thoughts about it, and I'm learning more about it. Like I said, my whole life I've been like, keep the baby, like no matter what. It's just pro-life. Now I'm more... I'm on the fence. For anybody who's going to go in the comments, like you said, and say, oh, she's on the fence, that's okay. We're learning and we're figuring it out, and we have an opinion, and our opinion is our opinion, and that's it. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you about what my opinion is. Let me learn. Let me figure out. I'm not like...
They don't want you to learn. It's like if you either with me or against me. That's only in a street fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like...
Right.
People aren't allowed to like think and feel. Like, why people aren't allowed to just feel nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I feel like it's like, listen, when people tell me, like, I ask people, how do you feel?
Yeah.
And then they tell me how they feel, and they're waiting for a response. It's like, no, I just want to know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you thinking? Like I said,
love that. I have a friend that texts me that too, and they'll be like, how you feeling today?
How are you feeling?
I love that.
And the first thing they do is they think about it. No, not what you're thinking.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Oh.
Yeah. I think too that and I've gotten this a lot, me not being for abortions, there are more people who are like pro-choice people. I feel like attack more of like, what? That's stupid. And it's like, I'm not tripping off what you're doing. I'm not telling you to.
But sometimes you gotta through that bush of people, you gotta understand the difference between the people who are passionately attacking you and the people who are just trying to get attention. Yeah, sucks.
Yeah,
but when you get to arguing on social media, you have a large following, right? So people are commenting on your stuff, and they're going back to your shit just to get the likes. You know what I'm saying? We're not even doing it for the love. We're doing it for the likes nowadays. Like, ain't that a bitch? But you got to navigate that too. Like, you know what I mean? Even these news people, like, they rather be first than right. So, people just want to go. People are about going viral. So that's another reason why, like, even on my page, if you like go to my especially like my Facebook, I'll post something. I hardly ever respond. Like, my post is my thought.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so when I'm getting it, I'm not arguing in there. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
I don't respond to people who have something negative to say.
Negative or positive. I gotta be fair.
With positive stuff. Yeah, the negative stuff, I'm like,
negative or positive. I gotta be fair. So it's like, no, you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But
that's why I wanted you on, because we can have these healthy conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some people who we can have this conversation and we leave here not friends because we don't agree.
Yeah,
a friend you lost. You know what I learned? Twinkie Bird told me at the coming full circle where we met at the monologue mixer.
Oh yeah.
She said a friend you lost is a friend you never had.
There you go. And that's why I love
you cannot
that.
have an open conversation with somebody, like what are you around them for?
Yeah.
People get mad.
If
People
you can't
when you don't
think
feel
about
how they feel
because they
want to
argue their opinion.
They get mad. Like,
And
those are people who just want to be right. Like, you don't even believe in your own shit. You just don't want to be wrong. Yeah. You just want to win an argument.
It's like you got to agree to disagree, or be like, that's for you. And that's why I say I don't identify as necessarily pro-life, because I'm like, if that's what people gonna do, I don't believe in it, and personally don't think that it should have ever been a thing.
And that's why I love your
now. And so if people are doing it, that's your business. That's your vagina. That's your
I tell you
baby.
what, going forward, it's about to be a conversation piece now, like on a date. You know, it's like usually people don't even, you know, it sounds strange, but on like the second or third date, people are gonna start asking about this. Like, what is your stance on this?
Oh,
I think more women are gonna like, what is your stance on this? Are you pro or are you, you know, pro-life or pro-choice? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, because it's gonna matter now. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you're gonna have to actually take your time to get to know somebody. You probably should have been doing
it. I'm gonna let you know right now, okay?
You should have been doing
39 in just a couple months away. I'm keeping the baby. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or doubts about it. Even if I was for abortions at this point in life, my nigga, just know right now.
But can you imagine being younger? Let's say hypothetically, we talk a little bit about hypotheticals. Let's say hypothetically you were 16 and got pregnant. Could you imagine not having that right to go have that abortion?
I wouldn't. Even if I was 16, I fucked at 16, and so now I know a lot of people who parents had them at 16.
Keysha was for the streets.
No, I wasn't having sex at 16. I'm saying I wasn't. No, you said hypothetically. If I was 16, then my thing is, I'm 16 and I decided to fuck.
Oh, y'all wasn't fucking at 16?
No, I wasn't fucking. And that was one of the main. Listen, that was one of the main reasons because I was like, yo, if I get pregnant and have a baby.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? My parents gonna be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that
you gotta walk through college and high school.
I didn't want that responsibility. That's why I didn't even take the chance of condom, no condom, birth control, no birth control. I'm not doing it right now.
Sex?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I was celibate.
In college?
Yeah.
It
was with my high school.
I was 25
boyfriend, but I was in college.
You started having sex at 25? You started having sex in college?
For kind of the same reason. I'm like, I don't want to get.
But if I was 16, I know a lot of people.
I was 13.
Who?
I was 12.
Really?
Parents
because I was like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. At 13, I went and got a job. I was like, I need some money.
Yeah. At 12, you start having sex?
Yeah, straight up.
I wouldn't.
Is that another?
I don't think I had a first kiss as well.
No, nigga.
Is that? Wow.
But I think again, just to the point is that like then you 16
kids,
with
I don't
a baby.
Promote this. I don't encourage this.
Then
I'm
that
gonna let
means
these
you're
kids
16
know.
with the baby.
Because these kids nowadays, like,
One more time.
Then that means you're 16 with a baby and you take care of the baby. I know so many people who mamas and daddies were teenagers.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
Oh, me too.
And they grew up not only but to be productive citizens, like great people. Like you know what I mean? So if the parent if the mom was just like, well, I'm 15, I'm about to kill this baby, then it's like, damn, I never even got to experience my friend. My friend never got to fulfill her purpose in this life. My friend never got to have her kid. And you know what I mean? So I think it's again, it goes back to accountability.
Yeah.
Kids, if you 16 and you know you want to hang out and kick it for the weekend, don't fuck. Because you have a baby.
PSA from Keysha E.
What's the point of hanging out?
What's she talking
but
about?
I guess the point that I'm making when we speak abortions, unless, again, like I said, wholeheartedly, I'm still kind of sort of on the fence with rape. Outside of that, I don't care if you 12.
But I'm happy that we have this conversation.
Schools definitely need more schools because kids are fucking young. Like, when I did it, was like only one or two of us. All these little niggas fucking now. Yeah. Kids need more sexual education and more just life education. The shit they teach you in school, it's cool. But it ain't like everyday life.
Also, I think that's your parents' responsibility as well.
I'm homeschooling my kids.
For school?
To teach you sex education.
Absolutely.
All types of stuff.
100%.
Even like Black history. The Black history I know came from my parents because in school they teach you Malcolm, Martin, Rosa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was actually blown away that a lot of my Black friends didn't know what Juneteenth was.
It's crazy.
That blew my high. I was like, what do you mean you don't know what this is?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know a lot of things. And that's why I think it is still the parent responsibility to educate your kid in sex education, their history. Of course, they're going to get to a point where for some parents, they doing trigonometry. I just can't help you. But life skills, talking about credit. I remember I was 8. My mom was talking to me about credit. I was like, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about.
It's different. It's a little different though.
Maybe it'll come back full circle.
My parents never gave me the sex talk, and I still turned out. We never had the sex talk, but I saw it in school, friends, TV, all this type of stuff, and.
But I think parents
how you get the sex talk. It's definitely important, but my parents just never. Yeah. It was just something that never happened. I don't know if my sisters got it or not, but my parents never sat me down and was like, "Oh, birds and bees." I just figured that shit out.
Yeah, I never heard that shit in my life. But I
birds and bees.
I lost my virginity
really
to my neighbor. My first sister, Danielle, found out, because she was my boy Lamont and her brother. They was, and so he told his brother, he just a casual conversation. My sister comes to me like, I heard about you and such. And so this is my first time. I'm like, she's like, but I ain't gonna tell Mom. Cool. But she tells my other sister. My other sister, she tell me the same thing like a week later. She's like, I ain't gonna tell Mom. Like, cool. All right, cool. Get to my brother, my older brother. He had the conversation with me about, it's important, this and that. And but he didn't say I ain't gonna tell Mom. This nigga aired
Your
me
brother
out.
snitched
My
on
older
you?
brother aired me
Wow.
out. That nigga aired.
Good for him though.
He was
like,
doing the
you
right
don't need
thing
to be
though.
out here fucking at
He was,
12.
that's my. He was doing
Damn,
the right
what was
thing.
that
You don't know
talk
what
like-
you doing.
What was that talk like with your parents once they found out?
Well, my father wasn't around, but so what happened was,
I feel like for dudes it's so different.
yeah,
they probably was like, "Good job, son.
no.
Did you use protection?"
No, I'm like, my mother didn't find out till like a year later. So like I'm 13 now, like and my
You
boy,
said it like that was. I'm 13.
I'm off the clock. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
older
You're
now.
13, you off the clock, you feel grown. And so, but I remember still riding the yellow bus because I was getting off the bus, and my boy was like, he was laughing as I got off the bus, and I'm like, what's funny? He was like, your mama found out. It's been a year. I'm like, nigga, what? I don't, He was like, he said her name, and I was like, oh.
How your boy know?
He's the first. So when I lost my virginity. So do y'all
No,
remember?
how did he know that your mama found out?
Because this is my boy, the first person, when me and her was doing our thing, him and my other boy was outside. Got done. I remember the Cosby's. I remember what episode of the Cosby's was on. Like I had bunk beds. I was on the bottom bunk with my Mickey Mouse covers. Straight up. And
Mickey Mouse cover.
Straight up. And so he was the first one. He wound up telling his brother, who was dating my sister, who told my other sister, who told my brother, who told my mother.
Jeez.
So that's how it all came full circle. Small community where I live.
Everybody
Did
has
you
a
get in
business.
trouble is what I want to know. Did you get that ass tapped?
She didn't whoop me. You know what I'm
No?
saying? But because she didn't whoop me, like I had been getting whooped for so many years, that the whooping I didn't get was actually more psychological damage because I was waiting on the whooping because usually you got a whooping, it was over.
Oh, you was waiting for that.
And I was like, man, she gonna whoop me any day now. And that actually helped me, become straight and narrow, whatever.
Did you continue to do it? I feel like once
Wait,
kids
what was
start
the
fucking, they
punishment?
don't stop.
So you didn't get a
Just
whooping, then what?
She didn't whoop me. She just had the conversation. That was our first time
Conversation.
having a
Just talk.
conversation
Okay,
about sex. But I'm just waiting on the whooping. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then I think I wound up having sex
I
with
feel
the
like
other
it's no
neighbor.
point.
And then,
So you just kept going.
You was fucking a whole block?
Oh wow.
I feel like it's no point in whooping a kid. Like once kids start fucking, they fucking. They ain't stopping. Buy them a box of condoms. You can punish. You can put them on punishment. You can whatever.
Yeah, because now you introduced to this
fucking.
feeling, and it's just
Yeah.
like
you gotta
know.
have that real conversation, like you said. You gotta have that real
try and
conversation
scare
because if
them.
And
you
I
don't,
think
if
that's
you
why I
don't,
waited till I was 25.
if you
'cause I
don't
was
have
like, I
that
wanna get hooked.
conversation, TV is gonna have that conversation.
Yeah.
The streets are gonna have that conversation. It's gonna be the wrong
Misinformation.
conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the wrong information on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like TV sells sex.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's money in sex. There's money in liquor. There's money in all this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah.
Well, what a beautiful conversation.
has
Thank you
been-
again so much for the eye opening and the
This
the-
was
the-
good. I learned that about
feedback.
Keysha, and I'm glad I know that.
What'd you learn about me?
About how you were like
How you view-
the whole choice on abortion and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh. I
I've
thought we
known
had this
I've known
conversation.
you.
Maybe not.
I've known Keysha since her mustache. And, like we go back. We go
Y'all,
back.
my agent, I had a meeting with an agent, right? One of the top agents in LA, commercial agent. And he's
Dog,
loving
we gotta finish.
It was right. It looked
Wait,
just
you
like
don't
this.
have one
Listen,
anymore.
he's
Sometimes she
loving
do.
my audition tape, everything. He about to sign me the whole 9, and he's telling me like, we need to get some new headshots, do this and that. He was like, and that,
Oh,
get rid of it,
no.
wax it. It has to go. And I was like, my mustache. He was like, you like that? And I'm like, I just never thought about it. It's just I've always had a little peach fuzz. It's always a part. I put that in my
Wait,
my
When I
series.
first met Keysha,
where you used to walk around with actual not.
I'll show
waxing
you
it?
my first headshot. When I look back on it, now
please.
that I do wax, I'm like,
Please.
damn, Keisha
I'm
was out
telling
here
you, when
like
I first
this.
met Keysha, that was back Randy Rands, Gino. They were all filming, and we were using her place over here off of Riverside. I think was it on Riverside or something like that? Where'd
No,
you
I
live?
was off of I was on Sherman Oaks and no, when we first met, I think we were at somebody else's place.
Oh, that was somebody else's place. It was down here on Riverside by the mall. Because all I know is I'm like, oh
Don't
man,
do that.
she got a little mustache.
Wait, you didn't think to want to?
And when I first
I
waxed
didn't
it,
even
I
have a
felt like a
mustache back then. I
pedophile.
was
You
still
know how
in
like
army mode.
when dudes don't have hair on their face, I was like, this don't feel right because I'm just so used to having my little
Yeah.
peach fuzz.
And you
This
felt
is
like
not a
you,
little piece for.
Hold on. Wait. Stop.
That is not no, my nigga. I don't have nothing on my chin. I ain't never had no chin hairs.
Keysha Edwards, Keysha Edwards just said
Let me show this somehow.
she did not want to cut her mustache because she felt like a pedophile. Bro.
You know how when they don't have a mustache? The
Nah,
first
we
time
not
I
about to
did
let
it-
that
the
slide.
first
We
time
not
I
about to
did
let
it-
that ride.
The first time I did it, my
Keysha
face
is a
felt
nigga.
so
If I
bare.
ain't never met, I was there. I know.
Dog, I'm done.
I know.
It was just a little peach
She got the
fuzz.
young B2K mustache and shit. You know what she was going for. You know, bump.
We're gonna get out of my business and get into somebody else's. So right now we do this thing what we call tea time, where our nieces and nephews email us either a question they have, if they need some advice, something personal they want to know about us, a crazy story, and we answer it.
These y'all nieces and nephews, right?
Yeah, these are
They
emails
yours
we get.
today too. Mm-hmm.
Hi, aunties. Hey.
That's what I'm saying. It's for y'all.
Okay, aunties and
Auntie and
uncle.
uncle.
Yeah, I was finna say. I ain't answering nothing that says, nope.
It says, that's funny. It says, I hope your day is going well. I recently quit my job and having second thoughts about if I made the right choice or not. I left to pursue a career in writing. My boyfriend does not work and is pressuring me to go back because I was the breadwinner. I wonder, should I break up with him and pursue writing or go back to supporting us and our family?
The first number one, ma'am, the boyfriend don't work. What he doing? What is he doing?
Well, he wanted her to work so he didn't have to.
Gosh,
Why?
That type of man.
Why?
My goodness.
Because
number one.
I guess you got niggas out here who...
First thing you need to quit is him. That's
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have some women who love having that role of being the mother in a relationship. Like, oh, I'll take care of you. It's a few women who want that leadership. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll take care of you. I take care of this. And there's some dudes who are looking for that type of woman. So I don't know. Maybe she's okay with being the breadwinner. I have no idea.
I'm
That does
torn
not
about
But if
for
he's
me,
pressuring her to
it's-
go back to work and not pursue what she wants to do,
it's giving broke.
First things first things
even
first.
user.
Don't avoid people who pressure you into doing anything that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's first things first. You know, again, we're taught to think. It's not till we're older that we're taught to feel, right? So what are you feeling? If writing is your passion, then everything and everybody in your life should revolve around that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once you, again, know who you are to know who you're not. So it's like, if this is who I am, then right now that's what I'm not. And if they ain't with it, then they can't get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to move on from that. And that's just anybody. Like, and you're talking to three people who, you know, from Detroit, from Cincinnati. We're from middle America. It don't get no more Midwestern than when I remember when I moved out, I told everybody I was moving to LA. They was like, you gonna leave that good ass job? I was selling cell phones at the mall.
Really?
But I was making bread though. I ain't gonna lie. By Cincinnati
Yeah.
standards, I was making money. But they was like, you gonna leave that good ass job? It's like, yeah, but it's kind of what I want to do. But it's like, what about your job? I'll figure it out. You know what I'm
I have
saying?
2 degrees.
Yeah, she's an engineer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, like they say, the heart won't what the heart won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
always, if you're gonna quit your job, whatever, everybody, no
plan.
matter what you do, remember your why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Listen, the times where I want to get this close to quitting, or I'm like, man, it's not coming through. It's not doing this. It's not doing that.
Remember
I get
your
back
why.
to focusing on the
Why you
why
here,
instead of the
yeah.
how. Like,
And be
how am I
patient
gonna
with
get
yourself
into
and
it? It's like,
understand,
no.
like, if this is what you love, right, then this is what you're gonna dedicate your life to.
Yeah.
Which means it's gonna take time, especially if you're a person with morals and values,
Yeah.
and you ain't no shady person, no shitty person. Like, you're gonna have to take the scenic route.
Yeah.
Enjoy the view, enjoy the ride.
It makes me sad that she's even contemplating this decision of
Oh, and
breaking up
also-
with him or pursuing to go, or breaking up with him to pursue her career, or, you know, that means there's love there somewhere. But I'm so conflicted. It's like, damn, do I go back to
But
work
is it
and
love,
let my
though?
dreams go?
Is
But
it love, though?
anybody that's pressuring you.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
But for her-
Love from another person, at best, should only complement the love I have for myself. At
Amen.
best, you know what I'm saying. So if I love you more than I love me, then I'm compromising
problem.
myself in
Yeah.
everything I'm doing. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like, I come first.
Yeah.
You need to be with somebody that supports you and what you're doing.
Yes.
I
That
come
believes
first,
in
you know
you,
what I'm
that
saying?
supports you.
Tell her.
Whatever the situation is, I don't know y'all business as to why he doesn't work and you do, but it's giving off
Nigga
user
without a
vibes
job gonna
if
tell you
it's
to get a
not
job.
like,
That's crazy.
yeah, but if it's not
It's
like,
giving bum.
you know what, you've been supporting me all this time and you want to write, you go ahead and write, and I'm gonna go get a job, and which you should already have a job, but whatever, I'm gonna go get a job
right.
and I'll hold it down right now so that you can do what it is that you're passionate about doing. So you got to let go of dead weight, number one. Number two, you got to follow your passion.
Yeah.
You have to, because that's where your happiness lies. Even when it's hard, even in the beginning when it's a struggle, even when you don't know and you're confused and all of those things. I would definitely say have a plan. I don't advise anybody to just blindly quit their job. I know Beyonce telling y'all right now what to do. Don't just jump out there and quit your job. You know what I mean? Right. Save up some money. Have a plan. See if you can write while you're working right now. You know what I mean? Until it gets to that point.
Well, no, she already quit.
Oh, she already quit.
That's why it says I recently quit my job and had a second thought. So for that, I say kudos.
But is she having second thoughts, or is he giving her second thoughts? She's
having second thoughts about if she made the right choice to quit her job or not. So for somebody who recently left their job, I say kudos as far as like stepping out on faith and pursuing what you want to pursue.
And for somebody who quit their job, I quit my job and went back. But for me to go back, like once I clocked back in, again, I'm a big accountable person. I had to have the real conversation with myself. Why did I quit my job in the first place? Cool. Why did I go back? What did I do? What didn't I do? All right, so I'm back at work. Boom. So when I quit the second time, let's not make the same mistake twice, because that's when you start beating yourself up. When you start making the same mistake over and over, you start to question everything about yourself. You make different mistakes, you're cool. You know what I'm saying? You learn from them. It's when you only fail when you fail to realize why you fail. So when that happens, you find yourself stuck. So remember why you quit and ask yourself, well, why am I trying to go back? Is this me saying I want to go back, or is this person saying I should go back?
Yeah. You gotta listen to your heart. You're good.
Are you feeling defeated?
We don't tap into our heart enough nowadays.
Yeah.
We don't tap into our heart enough nowadays.
There you go, niece. That's great advice from your aunties and uncles. Wow, that was deep.
All right, y'all. That has been the episode, right? Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you share.
Oh yeah, I gotta go to work. These niggas about to make me late.
I'm like, yeah, what you mean that's it? You gotta be to work.
These niggas about to make me late tomorrow. We talking all this shit. All right.
Send us your questions for our next episode. You can send them to somebody's auntie AUNTA.
Let me know if y'all want me to come back too.
Yeah, let me know if y'all want to have Donald back on.
I'll always come back if y'all want me to come back. If these niggas don't want me to come back, then
y'all drop a comment.
I'll be on time.
Let us know. You were great, Donald. Thank you so much for coming, for your time,
Thank you,
for your mind.
Where can they find you, and tell us what you have coming up next?
Oh no, we were talking about pro-life and pro-choice. I don't want these niggas to find me at all.
Well, I'm gonna still put Donald's Instagram handle in the comment section, guys, so you'll still be able to find him.
I don't have a job. I'm nowhere. Going home, going to sleep. No, you can find me on Instagram, Donald M. George. I don't tweet, mainly because I forgot my password and I can't get into it, and they won't give it back to me. But my Twitter is also Donald M. George. So if you tweet me, I won't get it. So
anything coming up for you?
No, just writing. I'm really trying to finish. These scripts. Like I said, I told you about my grandmother. Just losing my grandmother last week, and the story I told, the revelation is like, oh, I have to finish the script. So I even stopped the first movie. I was like, this has to happen. You know what I'm saying? So and that's really it. But people don't believe me. But it's like I'm laying low this summer.
I love that.
I totally feel you.
Donald,
every weekend. Again, my condolences for your grandmother.
I'm gonna support birthdays. Yeah. I'm gonna support, but I'm not just going out just to go out. Like,
gotcha.
I could be writing. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing.
I feel you.
I got a job now. Like I said, if I got to go back to my job, then something has to give. If I had to go back to my job, then it means one or two parties have to give.
Yep.
Because the dream ain't going nowhere, so something had to give, right?
I like what you said.
And these hoes, I ain't going nowhere.
The dream ain't going
nowhere. Let's wrap it. I like what you said though. A few weeks ago, we were trying to go out, and you were like, I gotta go right first so I can justify me even hanging out tonight. And I love that because we were all trying to do karaoke, and you were like, I'm only coming if I can get this writing done.
Because if I don't, then it's gonna be in my mind the whole night.
Like, I didn't get that invite, guys.
You did get invited.
Proceed.
Oh my gosh.
Carry on.
Y'all, that's it. We had fun. Thank you for tuning in.
Where you be at?
All right, y'all. It's been another great episode.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace out.
Peace, y'all. Thank y'all. Let's get it.